It's time for Voice of Indie. Your hosts today are Beem Weeks, author, producer, and marketing monster for independent multimedia publisher Fresh Ink Group, and Stephen G's, author, producer, composer, and publisher for Fresh Ink Group.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Voice of Indie podcast. I am your host, Beem Weeks, and this is episode number 219. And with me for number 219 is Mr. Stephen G. How you doing tonight, Stephen?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Thoughts are with the people down there in Florida getting hammered. Hopefully, Verwayne and Lisa Greenhow are in the audience tonight. Maybe they shoot us a little update on what's going on with them via X. So
if they have power, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, if they've got power, if they have the ability to do something like that. Hopefully, they're not ducking the winds again like they did on that last hurricane. But that's Florida.
Yep. So we've got some books out, don't we, Beam?
We do. We got a whole mess of them.
Now, a while back, we published Janelle A. Jordan's Minority Millennials in the Workforce. Quick, Janelle, tell me the title. Janelle,
still not enough.
There?
It is. It's still not enough. Minority Millennials in the Workforce.
Minority Millennials in the Workforce, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right. And that's by Janelle A. Jordan. We've just published her second book. It's The Reality of Interpersonal Leadership, A Guide to Leading Authentically. And this is a leadership and professional development kind of book. It's got some worksheets in it, all kinds of cool stuff. And she's our guest tonight, so we're going to learn more about this when we bring her in. But that's Janelle A. Jordan's The Reality of Interpersonal Leadership, A Guide to Leading Authentically. Get out there and get your copy now.
Yes. Become a leader. Another book that's out now is Angie Birmingham's Journey Through the Lens, Creative Guide to Nature Photography. That is out now. If you've been paying attention to the newsletter over the last few weeks, Sam, our social media guy, he's been sharing pictures from this book in there, and there's some really cool pictures. And if you like those pictures, Angie's going to teach you how to take pictures like that for yourself, because that's what this book is about.
Today's newsletter has some of her pictures, too.
Yeah, and there's some newer ones, I believe, aren't they?
Yeah, we replaced them, put some new ones in.
Yeah, so get over there and check out the newsletter if you got it this morning, and if you're not subscribed to it, we're going to holler at you here in a little while. We would like to hear from you. You want to be part of the show tonight? You got questions, comments? Give us a call or check us out on X, and here's how you can do all that.
Call 516-453-9902 right now with your questions or comments for tonight's guest. Or post a note on Twitter with hashtag Fresh Ink Group in the body of the tweet, and we'll read it on air. That's 516-453-9902 or hashtag Fresh Ink Group on Twitter.
Be there.
Yeah, we got some more books. One of them we put out a few weeks ago, Nowhere to Go But Tomorrow. It's a historical novel by Nell Cooper. It's her second book after her first book was a chapter book for children about bullying called Princess Lil. Nowhere to Go But Tomorrow is doing very well. It's a very well-researched historical novel. It's starting to attract a lot of attention. And go ahead and mark your calendars. If you're anywhere near Michigan on October 28th, you can go meet Nell Cooper up in the Thumb area of Michigan at a public library up there, where she will be appearing, reading, signing, shaking hands, selling books, and generally just being a nice person like she always is. So watch for that poster at our newsletter in the coming weeks if you're anywhere near Michigan, or if you feel like driving to Michigan to meet Nell. Nowhere to Go But Tomorrow is the book.
Yeah. Also out now is A Noble Bargain by Jan Sykes, award winner Jan Sykes. And this is book 2 in the Bargainer series. It follows A Beggar's Bargain, and A Noble Bargain is out right now. It's available, and I'm still hard at work on putting together the trailer for that title. Been getting some feedback from Jan, and there's some things in there that she wanted swapped out and to give it a better representation. So we're kind of working on that right now still. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. Nowhere to Go But Tomorrow, that's got a book trailer that's over on our YouTube channel. Get over there, Fresh Ink Group, and see all of our book trailers. Now,
before you go, Beam, we've got a red alert over on Twitter.
Okay, let me hit this old refresh button here and see what we got. Red alert, red alert. Oh, good evening. This is Verwayne Greenhall checking in. Good evening, Fresh Ink Group podcast fans. Once again, we've hand-cranked the power unit in order to listen to author Janelle A. Jordan. Grab an umbrella and join us. P.S. My pups are big but friendly. They are even more friendly if you don't mind sharing a potato chip or two. Okay.
Yeah, so somehow the umbrella... I don't know about an umbrella right now.
I don't think that'll work. No. Not in that kind of storm. All right, so Verwayne just became part of the show there on X. You can too, so do that or make the phone call. Now, as I was mentioning earlier, we've got a newsletter, everything you need to know about the indie publishing world, Fresh Ink Group, Voice of Indie, and other people that we don't even publish. We still share a lot of their stuff in there. So you got to get over there and get subscribed to it and to the newsletter, and here's how you can do that.
Stay on top of these podcasts and all things Fresh Ink Group with our weekly digital newsletter. New releases, videos, stories, excerpts, interviews, and more. Sign up now on the homepage of freshinkgroup.com and be the one who knows what's what.
What?
Yeah, so let's take a look at the top 25 print bestsellers from Fresh Ink Group this week. The bottom 14 slots are all tied. So, in no particular order, the bottom 14 of the top 25 include The Hippocampus, the interactive brain book, Fun Learning for Science Lovers by Dr. Helen Burrell. Are you seeing her on the phone there, Beam?
I'm seeing her. She's on hold listening to the show. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Helen. Your first book, which is an illustrated children's book, Learning About the Brain. You know, The Hippocampus. Pretty cool, huh? That's on our list now, figuratively.
Where'd you go, Stephen? You just dropped off. So I'll tell you what, Stephen, you're going to need to reconnect because it sounds like you dropped off. You might want to call in on your phone. You just dropped, dead silence. So I don't have the list for this for the top sellers here other than the top 5, and those usually change by showtime. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a commercial or two, and we're going to wait and see if Mr. G's can reconnect.
Mr. President, I've got your back. South Carolina State College was established in 1896 by the state legislature to provide educational opportunities to African Americans. The college is situated on land acquired by the state from the United Methodist Church in 1869. Thomas E. Miller was named the first president. Faced with many challenges and struggles, Miller and his wife, Anna, did an excellent job of moving the college forward and building a foundation for later growth and development. Since that time, 13 presidents and 5 interims have continued to build upon Miller's legacy. Although much is written about the presidents, very little has been written about their spouses who aided them in furthering the university. This book is by 2 of the school's prominent first ladies, Abigail H. Hugheny, author of There Must Be Something in the Water, Anthology of the Fourth Generation, Descendants of Green Pond, After the Emancipation, and Mary L. Smalls, Retired Educator Administrator. Now available in case-limited hardcover, softcover, and all digital ebook formats. Mr. President, I've Got Your Back is published by Fresh Ink Group. This important contribution to African American history features 12 dynamic, smart, and innovative First Ladies who demonstrated through their untiring support. Mr. President, I've got your back.
You there, Stephen?
Yes, I'm on the phone. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Great. The internet dropped out.
That explains
that means I'm not going to see Twitter or anything either until it comes back. I'm in Alabama. The storm shouldn't be affecting us this soon, but we'll see.
Okay, well, I'll monitor Twitter.
All right, so we left off with J. Ash Looney. Whoopi likes her bacon crispy is also on this list, and the third J. Ash Looney is in these 14 tied. The Trial of William Shakespeare, a dramatization of the authorship controversy in which the audience renders a verdict. That's a play, but you can read it like a novel. It's a cool story. Those are 3 by J. Ash Looney. Also in these bottom 14 on the list, we've got The Rise and Fall of a Construction Giant, The History, People, and Stories of CFW Construction by Dick Farrar Jr., and we've got some Willis Croft, Operation Ivy Bells, a Mac McDowell mission. That's the first Mac McDowell mission. The 5th one just came out, Operation Vela Redux, or is about to. And the 6th one is in progress right now. So these are submarine Cold War thrillers by Robert G. Willis Croft, and we're already working on the cover for number 6. Got another Helen Burrell book here, American Agony, the Opioid War Against Patients in Pain. And we've got Mark Marlowe's Operation Counterpunch. That's a thriller dealing with Korea and United States being at odds. We've got Phil Lippert on here, Beam. Crimes and the People Who Commit Them. Fiction with Conviction by the guy who did the time. What's that about, Beam?
That's some cool short stories, and Phil is seriously a world-class writer. The stories that he wrote, I'm kind of hoping that he would do a full-length novel or another collection of short stories. They were just really original. They're coming from a different point of view that you don't normally see. And there's a couple of those stories in there that still really resonate with me and stick with me. So if you like good short fiction, some hard-boiled stuff, this is the book for you.
We've got Kenneth Lindquist's How to Teach Driving, the Instructor's Edition, paperback. And then we've got both editions of Andrew McGregor's How to Paint an American, both the hardcover and the softcover. It looks like they're selling equally. That's a cool novel, too. We've also got I Won't Be Your Scapegoat, David Carroll's Homemade Social Media Blunders. David Carroll's the NBC Evening Newscaster out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is his collection of humorous things where people have misspelled, miswrote, misstated things on the internet and social media and various places, and they're just funny. We just laugh out loud every time.
Laugh out loud funny.
Yeah, and then the last one in the bottom 14 that are all tied with each other is Pandemonium in Puzzle Town by B.A. Johnson. She's getting ready to. She's got 3 out now, the 2 Sassy books, Pandemonium, and she's got a couple more in the works here. So we're looking forward to more from B.A. Johnson. Now, our next 1, 2, 3, 4 are tied, and those are Operation Vela Redux, a Mac McDowell mission by Robert G. Willis Croft. Just published this thing. I was so new I wasn't sure if we'd put it up this week yet or not. But Operation Vela Redux is the 5th book in the Mac McDowell mission series. That's a cool-looking cover. I like that. Also tied with that one, Celebrate 98, The Untold Stories Behind the Tennessee Football Vols' 1998 National Championship. And then Journey Through the Lens, Creative Guide to Nature Photography by Angie Birmingham. Check out some of her pictures in our newsletter, and you can go over to her website and learn more about her stuff. She puts on workshops for photographers and budding photographers. She works with teenagers. She's just a very cool lady. She actually came and visited me here in Alabama one time and met my grandson and gave us some pointers and stuff. So we're fans of Angie Birmingham, and you should be too. Now our next 2. Actually, this one's one of those 4 that's tied, and then the next one is one more copy than those, and they're both The High Road, Memories from a Long Trip by Country Music Hall of Fame drummer Mark Herndon. And these are surprisingly low on the list for The High Road because he tends to be in that top 5 every week, and neither of them is this week. So that brings us to the top 6. And these are not tied. So these, each one, as we go up the list, each one's a better seller. Right now we're at The Rise and Fall of a Construction Giant. Again, The History, People, and Stories of CFW Construction by Dick Farrar Jr., and it's the paperback edition. That one a little bit lower on the list was the hardcover, Beam, and that one still blows me away because that and Hello Chattanooga by David Carroll are 2 big, thick, expensive books. Hardcover, dust jacket, just a lot of pages and stuff like that. So to see the hardcover continuing to sell like that, it just boggles my mind, but I'll take it. And I think Dick Farrar Jr. will, too. Now, Journey Through the Lens, the paperback edition is 1, 2, 3, 4, our number 5 bestseller this week in print. Number 4, the hardcover edition of Dave Hooker's Celebrate 98, The Untold Stories Behind the Tennessee Football Vols' 1998 National Championship. Boy, you would think it was college football season, the way these books are
flying out of Amazon and other places. All right, top 3. The suspense is killing me, Beam. What do you think? You think a retired U.S. Navy lieutenant commander might make this top 3?
I'll bet he would. I'm almost guaranteeing
30 Years of Hijinks and Keeping the Fleet Afloat by Jerry Pate is in our number 3 slot, and that's the paperback edition of his 60-chapter memoir, which is just full of all kinds of cool stories. And Robert G. Williscroft, another submariner, worked on that with him a little bit too. It's just a fun book, and it bounces up and down in our top bestsellers every now and then, but it's back again at number 3. Congratulations, Jerry. Number 2, Abigail H. Guinea and Mary L. Smalls. Mr. President, I've got your back. The First Ladies of South Carolina State University, and guess what, Beam? It's the hardcover. It's a hardcover.
Right.
That's selling so
wow.
well. That's cool. So we're proud of Abigail and Mary, and Abigail's also the author of There Must Be Something in the Water, about the slave descendants of Green Pond, doing some great things too. So check that out, and that brings us to number 1. Number 1 print bestseller for the week. It's a paperback novel. It's a historical novel. It's by Nell Cooper. Nowhere to Go But Tomorrow. Congratulations. Wow. You made number 1 again. That's like 4 out of the last 5 weeks, if I remember right. So congratulations to everybody who made the top 25, and I'm sure all the rest of you were in that number 26 slot, and we just didn't read it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Audiobooks. I'm hard at work on Robert G. Williscroft's Keyed, A Lost Civilization, and I am working on the audiobook, putting the sound effects, and music, and things like that into it. So we still got a few weeks before it's going to be ready to be released. But again, keep your eyes and ears open on this show and on the newsletter. And I've also point
out real quick. That's the Ort Chronicles series that audiobook.
Yeah, that's the Ort Chronicles series. 4.
Yeah, and Ran is 3, and there's 2 before those. So check those out. They're science fiction. They're
all out there. The previous 3 are out there, and this one should be out there within a month or so, I'm guessing, as it all starts to shake down. And this one's a piece of cake. But here's the thing. The guy who narrates these books, Trenton Bennett, he lives right in the Tampa area down there in Florida. And I sent him a reread yesterday, and they were battening down the hatches because the storm was barreling down. So he said it may be a while before he can get into a studio and read this without the wind and the rain and everything whipping around and picking up on the audio. So we're hoping that Trenton and his wife and his family stay safe. And trailers. We've got book trailers. All kinds of book trailers over on the YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, type in Fresh Ink Group, and you will find all of our all of our book trailers, but you'll also find all of these episodes from this program are up there as well. Now I'm currently working on, like I said earlier, A Noble Bargain by Jan Sykes. I'm working on that book trailer, and I got a few more lined up. We're waiting for voiceovers for these ones, and again, get that newsletter. I already played a commercial, so I'm only going to. What? I
want to pitch that channel again, that Fresh Ink Group channel at Fresh Ink Group. We picked up 8 followers this week, Beam. 8 more followers.
Eight more followers. And if you're not following.
That's pretty good. Usually 1 or 2 is enough to make us get up and dance. So after the show's over, I'm going to have to dance.
Yeah. All right. So get over there. If you're not subscribed to the Fresh Ink Group YouTube channel, we put stuff up there quite a bit, and this is it's mostly book related and podcast related. So check it out. Now we already played one of the commercials when we had the technical issue there. So we're going to play one here and a short little bumper. So we'll be right back.
You're listening to The Voice of Indy. In Journey Through the Lens, Creative Guide to Wildlife Photography, celebrated wildlife photographer Angie Birmingham introduces burgeoning photo takers to their photo equipment and helps them develop the techniques for stunning outdoor photography. From mastering exposure to optimizing focus and lighting, Angie shows how to find the right styles to tell visual stories and present compelling images. Learn landscape composition along with the best ways to shoot animals, birds, and flowers. Find out how skilled photographers capture all the details while manipulating backgrounds and moods. Order a digital copy in your favorite ebook format or collect a print edition in full-size paperback or case laminate hardcover. Available worldwide from your favorite bookseller. From newcomers to professionals, everybody who loves taking wildlife pictures will thrill at how easy Angie Birmingham makes it for you to continue your own journey through the lens.
All right, now, Stephen, I see your voice.
Can you hear me?
Tag. Well, I haven't taken it off hold yet, so let me get over here. I was going to ask if this. I'm hearing you over the phone. All right, I'm going to mute your phone. Go ahead and say something.
Hey, something.
Something. All right, there you go.
All right. So let's meet today's guest and hope that my internet holds out here. Janelle A. Jordan graduated magna cum laude with a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from North Carolina A&T State University. She later earned her MBA in General Management from Troy University and her Doctor of Business Administration in Leadership from Liberty University. She boasts more than 15 years in a corporate manufacturing environment, working in various locations and capacities with entrepreneurial experience. Most of her career has been in management, where she has mentored and developed talent within organizational structures. A member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority, she also served as a high school varsity girls assistant basketball coach and mentored several young ladies in their personal and professional endeavors. That's very cool, Janelle. Welcome to the show, Janelle.
Thanks for having me. Thanks. Excited to be here.
So, how about you tell us where are you from and where all have you lived?
A couple different states. I'm born in the Bronx, but raised in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Had a short summer in Washington State, Franklin, Virginia, but I'm currently located in Columbia, South Carolina.
So what took you to so many different locations?
Work.
Nah. Funny how that happens.
Yeah. My mom is a Bronx native, so she's from New York. And when she met my dad, we moved to South Carolina a little bit later. So that explains the initial start.
So were you in the Bronx for a lot of your childhood, or did you move away really young?
No, I was young. We just went back for summers and spent some time with my grandmother.
All right, so really you're an Orangeburger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Orangeburgian.
Orangeburgian. I now know the term. That's like I'm from Michigan. That's like some people say Michiganian. No, it's a Michigander.
Michigander.
So, so what kind of kid were you in Orangeburg? You were into reading and writing? Were you a leadership person who was already helping kids get organized?
Hilarious. I was an outdoor kid, engaged in sports. I mean, we played kickball, rode bikes. I mean, you name it, we were outside doing it, but we also were inside playing video games. So it just made you kind of competitive and want to take the ring. So I was a younger of siblings and cousins that are like brothers and sisters. So you got to learn how to hang with the bigger kids and make things work.
Yeah. Now, as Stephen read your bio, you graduated from North Carolina A&T State University. You got an electrical engineering degree. What brought you into this realm, electrical engineering?
Just always, inquisitive with electronics and how things work, and wanted to dig in. If my dad was working on something, his motto was jack of all trades, master of none. So if he was working on it, I was trying to figure out what he was doing as well. So it kind of took me down the electrical path.
Cool.
And then also my grandfather always said that computers were the wave of the future, and he said this like years ago. So he tried to help navigate my career for me.
Yeah. Wise man.
They never did catch on, did
they? Right.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned your dad. Tell us about your mom, siblings, or any family that you have now.
Dad, he's a pastor, and people always laugh when I tell them that I'm a PK's kid. St. Paul AME in Creston, South Carolina. My mom, she's the director of communications in Orangeburg County. Both are responsible for equal parts of me. And the good, bad, and ugly, I take it all. But a lot of their personalities, I think, resonates through me. My older sister is Angelica. She lives in the Bronx still. Went back to take care of my grandmother. And my sister Janice is still in Orangeburg. And, I'm the auntie that borrows the kids and gives them back. So their kids are my kids. And really, really close on family. And then I have, extended relatives that are brothers and sisters as well. So.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about your professional career. I mean, what was your first professional job? Not just, slinging burgers or whatever. And what did that lead to? And how did that kind of change your goals? And, what was the track like?
My first professional job was actually international paper. I was a project engineer in a program called REACH, and it's still going on today. And the person responsible for this and hiring me is Terry Creech. She was really instrumental in jump-starting my career. And that was the arena where I learned, some of the basics that I thought was just insane for the workforce, fresh out of school, presentation skills, because, of course, fresh out of school, you know everything. Right. So there were some things that she taught, and there were some others throughout my career there that saw talent in me and pushed me outside of my comfort zone. And also that was probably the first time that I understood the meaning of constructive feedback and how to take that and actually make it work. There were some times, oh yeah, for sure. You hear it growing up, right? And it's the tough love you feel like you're receiving in a professional setting. How do you make someone better and challenge them outside of, where they're currently navigating and let them know that they can exceed their current function. So that was my first professional role and kind of set the tone for where I am today.
Yeah, it's a leadership role. Exactly.
Yeah.
So where did you go from there?
I did a couple different roles. As I got out the program, I did some engineering work and actually have been in management majority of my career. Probably I spent maybe a couple years as an engineer, if that, and went into management. So it's people that were males, somewhere around my parents' age. It's just kind of generational pool that was just a little bit different, and it was in a union environment, so that gave some challenges in understanding, how things work and how to reach people without violating, some of the labor agreements. But my experience with the company just allowed me to get some operational experience, some engineering, but most importantly, the management piece or the leadership piece.
Great. All right, Beem, why don't we play a couple of commercials now? Everybody, we're talking to Janelle A. Jordan. She's the author of The Reality of Interpersonal Leadership, and we're taking calls. If you want to call in, 516-453-9902 with a question or a comment for Janelle.
Yeah, or hit us up on X as Verwayne Greenhow did, and we'll read his tweet when we come back. He's giving us a little update there, so we'll be right back.
A small rural community in the Lowcountry along Ocean Highway, Green Pond, South Carolina, has long lacked cultural and educational opportunity for its young people's future success. Many have gone on to serve in the highest levels of education, government, public service, elected office, business, and medicine. With so much success against the odds, surely there must be something in the water. Abigail Huguini chronicles the impact just 42 of Green Pond's children have gone on to make in the world. All full-color editions include photos from around town and local translations of down-home sayings. These inspirational stories prove that, regardless of one's background, we can all find our own paths toward greatness. An excellent reference, keepsake, gift, and addition to every library. There Must Be Something in the Water, Anthology of the Fourth Generation, Descendants of Green Pond, After the Emancipation, is proudly published by Fresh Ink Group.
A true testament of character, resilience, and the magic of never giving up. The year is 1948, and folks in the sawmill town of Crossett, Arkansas, work hard and play hard. Oliver Quinn does both. Oliver is the son of Irish immigrants who firmly believe in pursuing the American dream. His deepest desire is to play Major League Baseball. He only needs one chance to prove himself. Rose Blaine is living in a nightmare where dreams don't exist. She's suffered for years at the hands of her violent moonshiner father and his partner. During a brutal attack, she must fight back or die. The aftermath is devastating. Fueled by desperation, Rose strikes a life-changing bargain with Oliver. If he'll take her and her brother to St. Louis, Missouri, she'll introduce Oliver to her uncle, a baseball legend. While their journey is fraught with unseen perils, they forge an unbreakable bond and make surprising allies. When destiny throws them a curveball, they must find the courage to create a hopeful future out of the ashes of shattered dreams with newfound fortitude. Read A Noble Bargain, Book 2 following A Beggar's Bargain in the Bargainer series by best-selling author Jan Sykes. A Beggar's Bargain and A Noble Bargain are available worldwide from multimedia publisher Fresh Ink Group in jacketed hardcover, softcover, and all ebook formats. The Bargainer Series by Jan Sykes.
All right, so get out there and grab that. Jan is really out there promoting this book. She's doing a lot of really cool stuff. She's making the rounds on various blogs, doing blog tours and things like that as well, and
traveling.
And doing some traveling, all in the name of marketing this book. So get out there and grab a copy. We're going to go over to Twitter here real quick. Verwayne Greenhill, he's down there in the armpit of Florida, and they took it pretty hard from Hurricane Helene, and this one's just barely missing them. So he says, it is raining hard here with a lot of wind knocking things around. We barely escaped the big storm, but it slid just south of us. I'm thankful it's missing us, but I know it's causing a lot of damage and human suffering. Our prayers are with you all. Verwayne and Lisa. All right.
Yeah. All right, we're talking to Janelle A. Jordan, and there's still plenty of time to call in, 516-453.
And we do have a caller waiting.
9902. So, speak of the devil. I hope it's not the devil calling in. Let's go ahead and take the call, Beem.
All right, we will take the call then. Hello, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Abigail.
Hi, Abigail.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome to the show.
Yes, delighted to be here. Good to hear both of your voices again, but especially hearing Janelle. Janelle is the sister to my daughter that I never had, that my husband and I never had for her. They are inseparable. They are very good friends. So just wanted to congratulate her again on doing a wonderful job. She is a very serious person about what she does, and sometimes she's too modest. She's really a expert in her own right, working for some top level engineering companies in the world, and she's a little modest about that. But we are so proud of Janelle, and just wish her the best on any other publication that she has. And I always want to support young people because they are our future. And thank you all for giving her a chance to publish her book as well.
Well, we're proud of her. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to you as well. Love you guys tremendously. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for calling in. Abigail H.
Yeah.
Eugenie, who you just heard, she's the author of There Must Be Something in the Water and the co-author with Mary L. Smalls of Mr. President, I've Got Your Back, about the First Ladies of South Carolina State University. We're glad you called in, Abigail. Thanks.
We have another caller. This one is from your neck of the woods there, Stephen, down in Alabama. So we will take this call. And hello, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, this is B.A. Johnson calling from
Hi, B.A. Johnson.
Hi, Barbara.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Calling from Huntsville, yeah.
Calling from Huntsville, yes. It's good to be with everybody. I just wanted to call and congratulate Miss Jordan on her second book. Congratulations. And we have a lot of things in common.
Oh, what's that?
We are sorority sisters.
Oh, awesome. Hey, Cora, how are you?
I am fine. We are sorority sisters in Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
The best sorority.
Yeah, I keep putting that in all of your bios, too, and one more time, and I'm going to go ahead and join.
And we have another commonality. We're AMEs.
AME, yeah.
We are AME, African Methodist Episcopal. Yes, we are AMEs. And then lastly, we have a common friend, the Huguenis. She is my friend.
Oh, okay.
She is my
great
friend.
People.
People. Yeah. And she talks about you in the same way. She says you are a wonderful person and a great friend to her daughter. So I know you're good people then. I know you are.
Oh, thank you so much. Same to you, and thank you so much.
Oh, and keep writing. I do have a question for you.
Oh, all right.
Okay, with your busy schedule, when do you find time to write?
Honestly, I use my phone probably more so on this last one, so my gear's always turning. I have random thoughts, so I'll take a note down and I'll jot some things down. But probably for the last year and some change, I was really deliberate about making efforts to capture some of my thoughts and expound on those posts. I was trying to be disciplined and hold myself accountable to it. Even when I was tired, it was like a personal push for myself to make sure I met my goals.
Okay. And you succeeded. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys, for taking my call. It's good to be back on.
Well, thank you for calling in, Barbara.
Yeah,
always good to hear from you.
B.A. Johnson, the author of Pandemonium and Puzzle Town and the two Sassy books, like Sassy Discovers the AME Church.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good evening.
Thanks, Barbara.
Thanks, Barbara.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we do have some questions over here on Twitter, X Twitter, whatever you want to call it these days. We're going to do a couple of ads first, then we'll come back, and this is Robert McKenzie. He's got some questions for tonight's guest, so we will be right back.
It's 1967, and promiscuous small-town girl Lavella can't wait to get away from her controlling mother to make her own life. She hooks up with Earl, an ugly hippie, rebelling against his rich father. At a time of severe racial tensions and the burgeoning civil rights movement, Earl whisks her off to San Francisco to experience the summer of love. Acid trips, a gay love affair, and deep betrayal eventually lead to Lavella's pregnancy, with a biracial child that Earl will accept, but which Earl's father won't. Lavella quickly discovers there is more to her mother's control than she ever could have imagined. Sunrise Over the Pumpkin Patch is a rich family saga by Carlisle Toms, author of The Calling Dream and Edge of Smoke. Proudly published by Fresh Ink Group, Sunrise Over the Pumpkin Patch is available worldwide in jacketed hardcover, softcover, and all ebook formats.
In 1948, 8-year-old Kay is at Oakdale, the Lapeer State Home in Michigan, where people of all ages with physical and mental aberrations come to live. Kay wonders why she is here and if she will ever leave. She cares for an infant who will not let anyone else feed her, and she has friends, especially a boy her age she calls Toe. When Kay and Toe grow close as teens, she discovers the home has scheduled surgery that will change her life. With the clothes she's wearing and the file containing her life story, Kay flees late one dark night. Toe tries to chase after her, but a fateful accident robs him of the chance to seek the love of his life. Will Kay ever experience the kind of family she has longed for? Published in jacketed hardcover, softcover, and all ebook editions by Fresh Ink Group, Nell Cooper's Nowhere to Go But Tomorrow is a historically accurate coming-of-age story about identity, belonging, and learning to choose one's own destiny. Read Nell Cooper's Nowhere to Go But Tomorrow.
Yes, currently number 1 on the Fresh Ink Group sales chart. So congratulations, Nell Cooper. All right, over on Twitter, Robert McKenzie has, let's see, there's about 3 questions here, actually 4. So we'll take them one at a time. The first question he asks is, Janelle, what motivated you to begin writing?
I was capturing like events. So in my first book, it was more so personal experiences and just encounters over time. And, you know, as I talked to other people, I realized, you know, this wasn't a battle that was solely mine. And I just wanted to let others know that, you know, they had an ally out here and someone who can empathize with their situations as well. So really just the urge to get the story out and change some perceptions.
Okay. His next question is, who is your favorite author?
That's a big one.
That is. That's kind of hard to pinpoint. I'm gonna selfishly say me, but no. I actually
make sure you pronounce my name right. Got you. But I actually like reading, you know, some of the local authors. As you mentioned, you know, Abigail, Jenny. We have some people from Orangeburg that actually wrote and self-published. My aunt has written before, and my cousin. So I kind of like hearing stories of people who I know, because I feel like you get to learn them, you know, from a different perspective that, you know, then you may feel like you already know them.
Okay.
So I won't say anybody.
This one's kind of along the same lines. What is your favorite book?
Again, I don't know if I could say a favorite. I will say one of the favorite ones I would say is a journal, 100 Days to Believe in Bigger. And that probably prompted the thoughts behind the second book. It was actually given to me by my line sister and sorority sister, Danielle, just kind of get me through some rough periods. So that probably would be my favorite right now.
Oh, cool.
All right. And Robert McKenzie's final question is, how does your engineering background help enable an orderly process in conveying an idea or concept in assembling a book?
Methodology. You know, it's just the order of things and how does it flow and assemble. So you think about, you know, circuitry and, you know, it's going to go with the path of least resistance, and, you know, that's kind of how you can relate it to writing. What's the path of least resistance? What flows from your heart, and what resonates with your feelings and truly represents who you are, and creates just clear and concise order of how you want to tell the story and paint a picture. And engineers tend to be detailed at times, so that doesn't hurt either.
Well,
right.
thanks for the X tweet, Robert McKenzie. That was 4 good questions.
Thanks, Robert. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I think it's time to talk about Janelle's books.
I was going to say, how about we talk about the books?
Yeah, so let's talk about her first book first, and go ahead and play the trailer so people know what we're talking about. Then we'll talk about minority millennials in the workforce.
All right.
Still Not Enough examines the plight of minority millennials in the workforce. Janelle A. Jordan details her own perspective-molding cultural upbringing, along with professional encounters hindered by others' preconceived notions and unconscious biases. She shares examples that are relatable to many with similar experiences. The scars from every denial fueled the desire for each minority millennial to do more. This book also guides leaders managing today's DE&I employees. Norms are evolving, and organizations must adapt or be left behind. Proudly published by Fresh Ink Group in all print and digital formats worldwide, Still Not Enough brings transparency to the challenges of today's younger and more inclusive workforce.
Yeah, now that trailer is over on YouTube in the Fresh Ink Group channel. That's one of our favorites that we made. It's got some very cool animation, so go check that out. And while you're there, subscribe to the Fresh Ink Group channel.
Yeah,
so Janelle A. Jordan, Minority Millennials in the Workforce. We just heard the basic blurb. Do you want to expand on that? Tell us a little bit more about it.
So Still Not Enough Minority Millennials in the Workforce. It just captures my personal experiences, but also the main focus or the introductory part of that book is cultural upbringing. So when you meet people in the workforce, everybody has their own story that makes them who they are and makes them who, tick a certain way and supports their beliefs and how they present things. So that book just kind of, is a chronological guide, I guess, of my career and some of the challenges that I faced. I would say probably from that book, I've had some comments such as, I didn't know you experienced that and gone through that, and it sparked some conversations with those who aren't minority millennials. So I think it's serving its intent of getting, different conversations and dialogue going.
Okay, so what led you to want to put this book together?
It's I guess the straw that broke the camel's back is just some experiences at work where it's just, it was enough, right? You kind of, you go get the degrees because it's self-gratification, not because, I didn't go back and get additional degrees because it paid more. That was just like a personal goal for myself. But, and I tell people all the time, degrees don't mean you're automatically given a job or qualified for a job. It shows that you have that theoretical mindset, but the practicality is earned in work. And I put it on both ends, from the theoretical and the practical aspect and the experiences, and just, letting the world know that minority millennials are facing the challenges of, well, maybe one more thing, or one more thing that you can do, or where we have to be extra, one more than who we may be going against for a job. So, that was just kind of to get that message out there of what we're facing, because the unconscious bias is this, for some people in those hiring positions who don't realize what we deal with and resonate with us.
Yeah. Would it be fair to call this like professional inspiration, professional motivation?
I would say so, just to keep going. There's some light, but keep going and persevering.
Now, have you heard from people who have read the book that maybe they've gone through the same thing and your book's kind of helped them push through?
Absolutely, and I've actually heard from some people who bought it for some of their younger relatives who are just starting to work and experiencing some of those same things. The easy thing to do is tap out, but how do you keep going? How do you change, your setting? Because let's be honest, every setting isn't going to fit you. But also, how do you challenge against those and help change that perspective and grow, more importantly?
Do you think people other than just millennials are looking at it? You're hearing from others, maybe people who are just in industry, business, hiring, HR?
Yes, and I've actually it was one review on Amazon, and I think it was someone who they're not a minority, maybe a millennial, excuse me. And I can't remember verbatim, but they were appreciative of the book and just a different perspective of from reading that book and that guide. So
yeah. I mean, I could see where the target audience would be minority millennials, but there would be a lot of people who would be interested in this, definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure. I hope. Go buy the book.
Go buy the book, people. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cool that this is a book that has the potential to change other people's outcomes in their work careers and in their lives, and it's kind of you being part of the pushing along of that.
And I'm hoping so. Like the workforce is changing rapidly. I mean, we see it now, so I'm hoping it does do that and serves that purpose.
Yeah, I could especially see college students definitely benefiting from this because it's their introduction to what's the real world going to be like. Because when you're on campus, it ain't the real world. It's a different world.
Right.
It's a different world, but it's not what it's like when you get out there and really start to compete and everything's cutthroat and your friends aren't necessarily your friends, and there's just a lot going on that you have to navigate that's a lot different than college. So yeah, this would be a great introduction to those people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about the second book, the one that just got published this week. It's out now, people. We'll wait while you go order your copy. Try to be quick. We're doing a podcast here.
Right. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Now we're in the process of making the trailer for it. We've got all the animations and stuff done, but we're waiting for the voiceover to come back from our professional voice actress who does the commercials for Janelle. So I'm going to read the blurb and pretend that this is the commercial, and then we'll talk about that. The Reality of Interpersonal Leadership, a guide to leading authentically. And I want to mention to readers, too, that REAL in reality is all caps because Janelle's putting an emphasis on what's real there. Is that right, Janelle?
Absolutely.
The Reality of Interpersonal Leadership, a guide to leading authentically, is a guide intended to help leaders engage with their teams and build their skill sets authentically. The content in each weekly section is relatable to situations such as current events, sports, and music to convey analogous dialogue. Each week, the reader will capture their takeaways from reading the content, commit to a weekly charge in implementing actions, and finally capture feedback from self-reflections and others in the weekly takeaways. The passages build over time, becoming more in-depth, allowing the leader to become comfortable with journaling. With passages to cover the year, as well as a bonus entry, the reader is set to evolve authentic and interpersonal leadership amongst others. From multimedia publisher Fresh Ink Group, The Reality of Interpersonal Leadership, a guide to leading authentically by Janelle A. Jordan, is available in full-size hardcover, softcover, and an all ebook formats. And by full-size, we mean 8.5 by 11. This is a big case laminate glossy book. So, Janelle, that sounds terrific. And this is a brand new book, just been out for hours, literally hours, so to speak. You want to expand on that? Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so this book, as you mentioned, the real and reality is emphasized, as well as some of the headings for some of the passages. Just kind of giving that transparency and authenticity. So just like the first book, giving a piece of myself, a little bit lighter in the content that's listed, and I wanted to really make it relatable and conversational. So when you're going through it, you can kind of relate it to situations that's going on today. And if you have a conversation with me, I'm all about, sometimes quoting, movies or music or, even relate to an episode of SpongeBob, I just wanted a piece of me to be captured in those passages and make it relatable to those reading.
Yeah. And the thing that I noticed about it is this one's interactive. You've got the worksheets and things in there. How does this work? What's this all about?
In a leadership role, it's really important to reflect. Sometimes you get caught up in the hustle and bustle and you're just going go. And reflection is important. This is why I kind of referenced the book earlier about one of my favorites, 100 Days to Believe in Bigger is one of my favorites at the moment, and it also explains the cover art on the front with the butterfly. So you think about the stages of a butterfly and the growth and the beauty that comes out in the end. So I wanted it to be interactive as leaders reflect, because sometimes we don't take that time to do so because the outside world makes so much noise. But just to see how we can become better as leaders and people who are looking for us for solutions and calming down the panic in the midst of, chaos that may exist. Just wanted to really give people some time to do so, because that's one of the questions I get asked in leadership. And that's one of the headings of one of the passages. What's the secret sauce? Like, what works for you? And a lot of it is reflection.
Now, we talked about your audience for minority millennials. Still not enough minority millennials in the workforce. Who would be the audience for this? Is this a wider age range? Is this only for people once they've become professionals, or is this for people who are looking to get into professional roles?
I think it's a broad range for this one. Yes, it's a target towards becoming a better leader, but I think people will find value in it and just becoming a better person, and just how you look at people and kind of see, perspective. How do you change the voice in the room when you're having a conversation with others and just give a different or a varying opinion and kind of meeting people where they are. So I think it's a broad range, and it's not just limited to, you need to be pursuing leadership.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the kind of leadership skills that you're developing in that book aren't always necessarily even professional. They can just be organizational. They can be, you being a part of the PTA at your school or things like that too, and becoming a leader. And that's one of the things I really liked about it. It's not specifically situational enough that you could really think about applying those things to any situation.
Absolutely. It's the EQ, it's the emotional intelligence, and how do you channel and grow into people.
Yeah.
The world's changing, and it's not, cutthroat as it used to be. People, want to connect with others and build rapport, so for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we have a couple of callers on hold, and we'll take a couple more calls. But I just have a question. Have you had any feedback from people who have had an opportunity to look at this book yet?
None immediately, and if you follow me on social media, probably the last year or so, I would put a couple of blurbs that's included in the book over time, and then when I didn't do so, I got questions of why did you stop posting. So so I think some people are looking forward to it. So hopefully they can obtain some value from it.
Well, it's out there now, so get out there and grab a copy. All right, now we got two callers on hold, and they're both from the same area code, 803, and they both have the first three digits are 7. So we're going to go with the last 4 digits, and we will take this one here first. The last 4 digits is 2720. You're on the air. What's your name?
Hey, how you doing? This is Akila. I'm actually calling from Atlanta, even though I got a 803 number, but just wanted to call in to, congratulate Janelle. I'm very, very proud of her and her accomplishments, especially on her second book. And she knew I was going to call and ask her a question, so she should be prepared for it.
Well, thanks. I'm never prepared for your questions. This is Abigail Eugenie's daughter.
Oh, hi, Akila.
Hey, how you doing?
We're fans of your mother.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, but yeah, Janelle, the question I have for you is, you've been in leadership for a while. What do you think is something that you struggled with as a leader when you first started that you kind of overcame and makes you a more effective leader now?
I won't say that I overcame it and I struggle with it. And yes, my sisters, they definitely tell you, and you know this, patience. I'm part of, sometimes we want things now, we want it, ready, and it's just really being patient with others. And my sister used to tell me, and sometimes she'll bring it up now, not as frequent, that when people don't understand things the way I do, I get frustrated. So patience is huge in trying to explain to people and really understand where they're coming from. But I'm still working on it. I could be better.
We never stop working on it.
All right.
Have you got another question for Janelle?
Yeah, no, like I said, I just wanted to come and ask her a question, but congratulations again. Like I said, very, very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And appreciate the question.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
All right. Thanks for calling, Keila. All right, so we got one more caller here. The last four digits of this phone number is 5096. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, this is Abigail. I'm using my husband's phone number to call in, but I wanted to make sure that I asked Janelle a question related to the last book. I see a lot of potential with the last book. We talk about how leadership, sometimes they do not understand the young millennials, the young people. Do you see an opportunity to take this book to them and use the two books together and show how really the two need to come together? And the word for me is communication. That's always a big thing for when you have a generational gap, is for the two generations to come together and discuss some things that will make it better, not only for the individual, but for the entire organization.
I definitely would love the opportunity to do so, and that's a correlation I love to make and hopefully marry the two and advertising them together. So, yes, it's the challenge of, okay, this problem exists, but, yes, book two is what's the solution and how do we navigate across from that. You know, the diversity that exists, you know, in the workplace is, you know, it spans, you know, a good sector, just not even generations, but, you know, you have the different ethnicities and everything else that's mixed into that, but how do you relate to others with the challenges? So I would love to marry and advertise the two together and definitely promote them synonymously.
Okay. I see some potential there.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. Thanks for pointing that out as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
thanks for calling in, Abigail and Janelle. Congratulations. You have inspired the first time ever in 219 podcasts of having a caller call in twice.
Yeah.
I appreciate the call.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Abigail.
Yep.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
Okay, now we could still squeeze in another call if someone wants to get in here, 516-453-9902, but we are starting to wind down here a little bit. I did want to point out this new book, The Reality of Interpersonal Leadership. Janelle, you've got those pages in there where people can fill in their thoughts and stuff like that. What about an e-book? If someone buys the e-book, just a separate piece of paper, or how would they use that?
I know some people function a little bit better off the e-book. It's a note. So we're in the digital age. Also, I'm not promoting because I'm not a rep, but if they want to sponsor me, Otter.ai, they capture a lot of voice recordings, and you can get it to transcribe.
Ooh, yeah.
Transcribe for you automatically. So it's a couple different ways you can do it. You know, if you want to just, you know, highlight and you know, reference some stuff later. So it's an ebook, but it's not limited. It can still be interactive. You can use it in content, whether it be in a school, like you said, the PTA meetings, coaching a team. Because I've actually spoken to a football team and talking about making that transition, as you pointed earlier, from college into the workforce. So, you know, these things are doable. We're in the able stage.
And some ebook readers now you can also annotate. So especially like if you're using a tablet, so that you can see it bigger, so you can look at that page on a tablet and then just make your notes right on there and save them. So don't be discouraged by from buying an ebook, people, even though there's worksheets in here, because ebooks can work too. So we just wanted to make that point.
Good point.
All right. So Janelle, what kind of advice would you offer to somebody who may be looking to write a book or motivate people as well, or just kind of do what you're doing?
I guess kind of twofold. One, do it. there's somebody, even if it's one person who you touch that wants or needs to hear your story, and just let them know that, you know, you're not alone, or it's a different perspective that you can present to somebody. And then I think the second piece would be, you know, transparency, and that's one thing I try to stand on and as a principle, and that kind of leads into the authenticity part of the title as well, or the subtitle for the book, is being authentic. Let people know who you are, and don't be afraid to convey that. You know, people can relate to you and understand your message, but be who you are, and that's just a life kind of pressure, regardless of the book. You know, be who you are. It's hard to carry on imposter syndrome and you know, relate to be someone for somebody else. You got to be there for you. So.
Okay. Excellent advice. So our guest tonight has been Janelle A. Jordan, author of Still Not Enough, Minority Millennials in the Workforce, and the latest one, The Reality of Interpersonal Leadership. So, Janelle, how do people find you, follow you, contact you? What are your handles? What's your website? Where are you out there?
All right. I'm working on a website currently, but you can follow me on Facebook, Janelle Jordan, Janelle. Last name Jordan, Jordan. On Instagram, SoAmbitious_83. And also my business page is on Instagram, and you can probably make the correlation between the two is Ego Leadership Consultant. So public speaking, engagement, leadership coaching, just promoting that as well.
All right,
and
great.
And of course on LinkedIn.
Say it again?
I was saying, and of course on LinkedIn.
Oh, on LinkedIn, right, yeah. And then, of course, at freshinkgroup.com, we have a contact form. If you're ever looking for Janelle and can't find her any other way, send us a note. We'll make sure we pass it along to her. So, our guest tonight has been Janelle A. Jordan, and we really had fun tonight, Janelle. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Now, people, if you're into college football, you're going to want to catch next week's guest. That's Dave Hooker, who wrote Celebrate 98 about the Tennessee Vols. And then what else we got on tap coming weeks, Beem?
Well, the following week, I still got to finalize a guest. So, but the week after that, we're going to do something a little bit of different and have a little bit of fun with it. It's the night before Halloween. So we're going to do a Halloween show, kind of ghost stories or favorite scary book that you've read, whatever. And this requires participation from callers. So call in with your favorite stories, and we will have you on the air, and we'll share them and have a spooky time with this, this Halloween show.
And we've got 17, 18 books in the pipeline right now, and a handful of those are looking to pop in the next couple of weeks. So those authors will be our next guests. We're looking forward to meeting Loretta Spencer. She's the 3-term ex-mayor of Huntsville, Alabama, and she's written a memoir, Loretta Spencer, A Passion for Serving. We're looking to have that out in the next 2 weeks or so. We're also looking at Braden Dexter Green's book being out in the next 2 weeks. That's called Trains of Alabama, and that's got more than 150 beautiful photos of trains from around Alabama and the places they operate, the switchings and the yards, the rail yards, stuff like that. So that's a very cool book. And we got a couple more people coming soon, don't we?
Yeah, we've got the author of the Chair series, Robert McKenzie, who had a handful of questions out there on X tonight. So keep your eyes and ears open for that one. Robert McKenzie, he's got in his, I believe it's the 5th volume 5 of the Chair. So that's coming soon. And Robert G. Williscroft, he's always got stuff in the pipeline. So he's got the actual physical books, but then he's got a new audio book coming out. So he's going to be joining us in the studio here before too long and talking about what he's been up to. So and we got others too. We got one. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but I have to reach out to him. He wants to be on the podcast.
Bill Yarborough.
Yeah,
Bill
he's got a book coming out about the whole MK Ultra stuff. So if you're into that angle of stuff that's out there, we've got a guy that experienced that stuff himself. So get that newsletter, find out who's on.
So people, get over there, subscribe to Fresh Ink Group channel on YouTube, get over to freshinkgroup.com, scroll to the bottom and subscribe to our newsletter, and get out there and check out Janelle A. Jordan's new book, and while you're at it, pick up a copy of her first book too. Thanks again for being on the show, Janelle.
Thanks, Janelle.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah, and we'll see everybody next week.
All right. Bye, everybody. And thanks to everybody who called in tonight. You showed up, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, and you people in Florida, our hearts are with you.
Yeah.
You're listening to The Voice of Indy.
You've been a part of Voice of Indy, a production of Fresh Ink Group. Spread the word, support our guests, then find us at freshinkgroup.com and be sure to hashtag Fresh Ink Group.